My son wanted to eat a popsicle the other day. He had already had a lot of sugar that day. And he looks at me and says, "Mommy, I really want another one." I said, "You already had like two and you haven't eaten your lunch yet. So go ahead and eat your lunch." His lunch was pizza. I said, "Go ahead and eat the pizza and then I'll see if you can have another one." He's like, "No, I don't want to." I said, "You're not getting another popsicle until you finish your lunch." These kids love junk food. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, I was doing something else, and all of a sudden he says, "Hey mom, is this enough?" And I look at it, and his pizza is pretty much almost all eaten, and it looked like he had eaten a big portion of it. And I looked at it, I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Okay, well, I guess you can have," and then I stopped in my tracks and I said, "Mm-mm." And I went to the garbage can because my mom tuition kicked in. And I looked in the garbage can. Yep, lo and behold, he had tore off the pizza, threw it in the garbage can just to tell me that he had eaten the pizza. And I looked at him and I said, "Well, that was a lie, right? That's a lie. That's what that is, right?" And so there are consequences for lying. So he got his consequences for lying. And I thought about, he's like, "How did you know?" I'd be like, first of all, I got the Holy Spirit and I pray a lot about parenting y'all. Y'all belong to God first. That's number one. So God gonna tell me a lot. But that's not even it. I said, I think I just know you, Josiah, too. You be trying stuff. And it just kicked in right away. And I thought, like, wow, if we can be that connected to our children, and even in the spirit, how if we just stop before we speak, stop before we react, stop before we say something that is hurtful, maybe we will have more unity, because the spirit of division is tearing us apart and the enemy is sitting back laughing. Maybe if we were more in tune with God, more in tune with each other, we would see my brother, my sister is hurting. Maybe I just need to take a minute and think about my response and my reaction, because they will know you by how you love. Remember that.